On behalf of the Time Variance Authority, I hereby arrest you for crimes against the sacred timeline.
I already missed that guy.
How do you plead?
I'm Agent Mobius, by the way. How long have you been here? I don't know, it's hard to say. You know, time passes differently here in the TVA.
Look at that. So it seems like whoever's doing this,
The trap, watch your back.
it's always a trap. They're setting traps for these people. Oh shit. Why take the body?
Come on, Loki. What
Looks like a detective.
It's when the TVA can no longer reset a Nexus event. Okay?
Watch it. Where's your manners? Oh, hey, quit it. That is not nice. Jerk.
Hide it. Going well? Oh, yeah. My jet ski magazine, put it down. Come on, gear up. There's been an attack. Let's go.
I love it. He's in now. He's part of the squad.
Good. Go. Smart. Because you already know that we can catch you, and how's betraying us going to get you any closer to the timekeepers?
An audience with the timekeepers is on the table.
Keep that focus.
Yeah, I want to know if these timekeepers are real, if they're alive. I don't know what's going on with them.
So he's taking hostages now?
The variant's never taken a hostage before.
Maybe he's upping his game.
Or he pruned her.
A Loki couldn't have gotten the jump on C-20.
I think you underestimate, actually.
Fan out and search for her. And hurry up, because we're at 3 units until redline.
She was kind of a badass. He had to fuck with her head before he could take her out.
If you're here to help me catch the superior version of yourself. That's it.
I'm not sure superior is actually quite the right word.
See, there it is, right there. I believed, stupidly, that insecure need for validation would motivate you to find the killer. Not because you care about the TVA mission or being a hero, but because you know this variant is better than you, and you can't take it.
Very nice. I mean, it is adorable that you think you could possibly manipulate me. I'm 10 steps ahead of you. I've been playing a game of my own all along.
What, charm your way in front of the timekeepers, hustle them, and seize control of the TVA? Am I getting warm? A double cross by history's most reliable...
Of course he's going to try to rule this place. I love the design of this world. Like this weird brutalism.
Over each and every one of the variant's case files, and then give me your, how do I put it, your unique Loki perspective. And who knows, maybe there's something that we missed.
Well, you're idiots. I suspect you probably missed a lot.
Well, that's why I'm lucky
He's
I got
such a
you for a
dickhead.
little bit longer. Let me park you at this desk, and don't be afraid to really lean into this.
So basically, if Loki shows up in your timeline, you're fucked.
Here we go. Any minute now, until this entire town is wiped off the face of its planet. Imagine all that.
I gotta fucking hear him talking about it.
Oh, come on. It's cool.
No, it is cool, but it's just not in good taste because of.
Well, they're all gonna die anyway.
I know. Come on, let's take a walk.
I like that this has turned into like a
By the way,
detective show. Kind
Your
of.
desk, that magazine.
Yeah, the one on jet skis.
Yes. Why'd you have that?
Because they're awesome.
Suppose they are.
Yeah. You know, some things, actually most things in history are kind of dumb and everything gets ruined eventually. But in the early 1990s, for a brief shining moment, there was a beautiful union of form and function, which we call the jet ski. And a reasonable man cannot differ.
You ever been on one?
No. I think a TVA agent showing up on a jet ski on the sacred timeline, that would create a branch for sure.
That'll be fun, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be really fun.
Go find one.
So why read about them?
It just helps remind me of what we're fighting for. Scared little boy.
Yes, it was quite patronizing. I thought it was a bit too far, actually.
You're very clever.
I know.
The variant left something behind at an old crime scene. A
Yeah.
cathedral, a candy box.
gum or whatever.
Obvious anachronism. I gave it to analysis, but they couldn't find anything real.
Why does that matter?
Because now we have two variables. Apocalyptic natural disasters and
Kablooey.
let the infirmary know we're
No,
gonna bring
no,
in.
no. I gave it away. I gave it away.
What did you give away?
The timekeepers, where they are. I gave it away, how to find them.
B-15, what is your status?
No, not the Roomba.
Come on. Stop hiding.
I just bought a Roomba recently. They're awesome.
This isn't about you.
Right.
Oh shit. Oh, she's sending them back to the TVA.
Where are they going?
Not possible.
Wonder why she had one horn missing. And I wonder if she is from the comics, if that's supposed to represent a Loki that has already been written. That was good. What's up, guys? I'm recording this a couple days after watching Loki. I had some stuff come up at the end of the day and then couldn't really get to it yesterday. Loki's part of the team now. I mean, obviously not everybody trusts him, but he's on the team. Obviously, the friendship between he and Mobius is going to be fun to watch. I mean, the conversation about the jet ski, you know, that's going to come into play later. They're definitely, probably, I would, if I had to guess, I would say closer to the end when maybe things get resolved. They're going to go find a apocalypse somewhere near the ocean or somewhere where he can get on a jet ski and he's going to get to ride a jet ski. So that'll be fun. Looking forward to that. Jet skis are awesome. They're also very dangerous. The amount of power that comes out of the back of those is overkill. I mean, I know of a girl who, she's a sister of a girl that I went to high school with. She fell off the back of one right as they took off, and the jet stream shot inside of her and ruptured a bunch of stuff. I mean, they're dangerous things. Actually, I got hit in the head with one when my little brother, we were like, I don't know, 7th and 8th grade, and it was me and him and another kid, and I was on the back of one. He was driving, and I jumped off going way too fast. Just thought it'd be funny. Hit the water like a freaking brick. I mean, that was the first mistake. I hit the water. I obviously had a life jacket on, but like knocked the wind out of me. And then when I came up, I saw him coming at me, and I knew he was gonna like come at me as far as he could, and then he was gonna cut it, and he was gonna throw water in my face. I had already warned him several times not to do that, and every time I've ever warned my little brother not to do something, he does it anyways, and somebody gets hurt. So he did it, and naturally, because I knew something was going to happen, I turned and put my head under the water. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not, but right there. I don't know if you could see that or not, but yeah, he ran over me with a jet ski. Had to get 5 stitches. Ruined my summer. Had to stay out of the sun the whole summer. He got grounded, so it ruined his summer too. But somehow it didn't knock me out. It didn't bleed too bad, and I just remember being so angry at him. Mom said when we were pulling up to the shore and we were hauling ass, she knew something was wrong. But she said when I got off the jet ski, the first thing I said was, "Your dumbass son just ran over me with a jet ski," and she said that's how she knew I was fine. But I did have to go get stitches like immediately, and we almost got into a car wreck on the way to the hospital. So it was a fun time. I got to spend the rest of the summer playing Crash Bandicoot. So actually, not a bad summer. I never did beat that game though. But anyways, Loki, I loved this episode. The music at the end is such a good score. It's like it's haunting for one, but it's also got like it's kind of similar to Thor's, like in Ragnarok. You know, it's got that, I don't know if that's Celtic music or Celtic music, however you want to pronounce it, but it's kind of got that tone to it. The weird horn. There's a little bit of Loki's feels a little more mischievous and not quite as like triumphant as Thor's Thor Ragnarok's score sounded. Still awesome. It's very, very haunting. Lady Loki, or whatever we're calling her, I don't know if she is from the comics or if she's new or if it's like maybe a hybrid. It's probably drawn some inspiration from there. The one horn, I noticed that right off the bat. I wonder if we're gonna figure out what that's about. Also, at the end when she waves to Loki, and I thought that was kind of flirty, and it immediately made me go like, "Wait, are they gonna is Loki gonna have sex with himself?" Could he do that? I mean, what are the consequences of that? What are the repercussions? I mean, he's already in love with himself, clearly. Go for it, bro. Seeing him learn more about Ragnarok, I mean, it's clearly affecting him, which it's obviously we've seen Loki kind of change and grow, you know, past the 2012 version, but it's interesting to see this is the 2012 version and he already had that. He's got a heart, right? He's just not, he doesn't show it to people, maybe because that's, you know, if you keep things closer to the chest, it's easier to deceive people. I don't know. But it's also interesting. There's only like 10,000 people in Asgard, 10,000 that died. I don't know how many were saved, but that's a smaller population than I expected. Because, I mean, to have an army that large and only 10,000 people, I don't know. It's also, they're also gods, so I guess you don't need an army that's quite as large as a regular military. I like the conversation that he and Mobius had about, it was almost a religious conversation about Mobius, I think, said specifically, if you think too hard about where any of us come from, it doesn't make sense or something to that effect. I love any show or any Mandalorian had a really good episode of it where they deconstruct religion. I've mentioned it before. I grew up in a religious household, and I've since moved away from religion. I'm still spiritual, but I had to lose religion to find my spirituality, weirdly. I think religion is a little bit more about control. Not all religions are the same, obviously, but I was raised Church of Christ, Christian, and it just, the older I get, the more I realize that that doesn't vibe with me. That I don't resonate with that, and there's just too much that didn't make sense about it. So I love any time a character has to deconstruct that part of their personality and their how they identify, because it's very interesting. It really makes you question your, not just your morality. I think most people are moral, and religion, the morals you learn in religion aren't necessarily wrong. You're gonna shed a few depending on the religion, but if anything, it made me more resolute in more my morality. It made me realize, like, because growing up religious, one of the excuses was, oh, if you didn't believe in God, if nobody believed in God or salvation, the promise of heaven, or the threat of hell, we would all be doing bad shit, which is just not true at all. And if that's the only reason somebody's being a good person is so that they go to heaven, then I would question whether they're doing it for the right reasons. And so as I, lost my religion going into my 20s, it just made me realize, like, you don't have to have religion to be a good person. And, I know a lot of people who religion has saved them, saved their life. It's different for everybody. And so it's interesting to see those two talk about it. And Mobius takes an interesting stance where it's just like, he doesn't have the I don't want to say brain power, but he can't understand it. With the evidence and the facts that he's got, he can't make sense of it. So he chooses to believe because it's easier. It makes his existence easier. And that's certainly one way to do it. And I don't see any problem with that whatsoever. If that's what helps you get through the day, go for it. And then it was interesting to see Loki not see the similarities at all between, being a god, quote unquote, a god from Asgard. And he didn't think that was the same. And it was absolutely the same. Mobius is dead on with that. Yeah, it's the same thing. The details are a little different, but it's the same concept. So I don't know if they're going to dig too much further than that, but I'd like to see more about that. So I guess Lady Loki, and that's another thing. She didn't like to be called Loki, and I didn't really catch that until I was doing the editing. And obviously I wonder why that is, but if I had to guess, like just a theory, the first thing that came to my head was she clearly knows what the TVA is and that it exists. And if that's the case, then she knows that wherever she's from originally didn't mean anything, didn't matter. She was not in charge of it. And I wonder if maybe because this is me just projecting how I would react to that. I would feel like I wasn't in control, so I wouldn't want the name that was given to me. Loki, if it was always my destiny to be Loki, and I didn't ever have any control over that, I would fight that control on the most basic of levels. And number one would be, that's not my name. I'm gonna take, if you're not, I don't have any control over that, then I'm gonna strip everything that you've given me. I'm gonna be something completely different, and I would start with a name. So I don't know if that's where they're gonna go with that. I could be way off, but that was my first instinct. So I guess she bombed, or we'll say bombed because they said bombed different periods in the timeline. And I didn't see, I know that they, for a brief second, they listed some of the cities and places. And I saw New York. I think I'd seen Tokyo. And the first thing that popped into my head was New York's obviously got a big correlation with the Avengers. Tokyo, I think that's where Hawkeye was in Endgame when they went and found him. I could be completely wrong about that. But if that's the case, those are the first two that popped in my head, to where I put, okay, there's two Avenger locations right there. But I didn't see the dates. So my first instinct was, okay, maybe she's going back and taking out all the Avengers for some reason. That could be way off. That they may not even touch anything to do with the Avengers. This could be something completely separate. But I don't want to look too far into it because I want to let the story unfold. I don't want any potential spoilers. I'm sure somebody out there has already figured it out. At the end, I mean, we knew Loki was going to follow her, and I mean, with Loki, you never know when he's lying, when he's not, I guess. But either way, he had to follow her because if he didn't, she's gone. You're not catching her. So he could, I mean, he's got options, right? He can follow her. They team up, whatever. If that's going to be his true intention, which I don't think it's going to be, but the option's there. But he can always, get back in touch with Mobius eventually and be like, look, I just followed her because I knew if I didn't, we'd lose her forever. So it be that he's helping Mobius? He could be helping himself. He may not even know what he's doing yet, but he's smart enough to know that he had to go through there. And I think she left that open for him to come through. I know she waved bye to him, but I feel like that was like she understood, like, I don't know. She doesn't seem stupid, so she would have closed that if she wanted to. I don't know if they've showed it. What opens those doors? What's the mechanism for that? Is there a something that they use to control those? I guess that she took from that the other crew member that she pulled in the beginning. That a girl also said that she gave it away where the timekeepers were at. So I'm interested to see if we're going to see them, if they are real, if they're alive. I think the woman that is in charge above Mobius, she doesn't seem like she has met them either. I know she said a couple things like, I've never seen them so involved. I don't trust her. I don't feel like that's true. She feels very naive almost. I don't know. She just feels like she's hiding something. I could be wrong. That could be a red herring. Who knows? But overall, I liked it. I liked where the story is going. The apocalypse thing was cool. It was, it's cool to see that it's kind of a detective show. Maybe not, maybe just this episode. I don't know, but I love any kind of detective show. Watching people pick up the evidence and follow it and come to a conclusion. So I'm interested to see where the next one goes. And I'm liking these longer episodes also. They go pretty quick, but you can just develop so much more. And I think this thing's only like 6 episodes, so it's better than 6 20-minute episodes, that's for sure. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for me, guys. I'll see you guys next week for episode 3. See you.